Polymarket got hit today, right as I'm filming this. $660,000 drained through an exploit. Same hours, Hyperliquid printed a new all-time high. Timing like that isn't coincidence. We'll come back to Hyperliquid later in this video. That's the setup of the week. Quick reminder on timing for new viewers. I work in a system where the week closes Wednesday. The logic many of you know from ICT and smart money. Statistically, Wednesday forms the high or low of the week more often than any other day because every scheduled Fed decision drops there, the blackout window before it ends right there, and the heaviest institutional flow runs through that point. I call it BIOS time. Wednesday's the climax, Thursday's the reaction, Friday's when you take stock. On to the market. On higher time frames, the picture stalled, but that's not a bad sign. The weekly chart stopped curling over. No new low. We might keep climbing. The 5-day didn't break its low either, waiting for the reaction. The 3-day chart is where the fork starts. It's below zero. The low got broken. Trend dominance is a touch weaker than ADP. Sellers have reach, but it's not broad. The daily and 12-hour charts confirm the same picture. Locked below the zero line, weaker trend dominance, a slight curl over. Below that, the picture changes. The 4-hour chart is above zero, but messy. Structure is there. Clean it isn't. The 2 hours is cleaner, above zero. Building structure, gentle pullbacks to tag the moving average. Looks like the mid-time frames are holding the buy side and trying to pull the higher ones up with them. That's the fork of the week. First, the 12-hour chart has to break its resistance. Then the daily has to get back above zero. Then we keep climbing. If they don't get there and we lock below zero on both, back to the downtrend. The earliest signal either way comes from the 2-hour and 4-hour charts. On to Bitcoin. There's a real shift here. Looks like we're not leading the market anymore. We're starting to join it. Last week, Bitcoin was still in front. This week, the dynamic flipped. On the weekly chart, weak close near the zero line, but the low didn't get broken. Could be a retest of zero from below. The 5-day chart is sitting almost exactly on zero, no clarity there. The 3-day is still holding above zero. We tagged it on May 19th, bounced off softly but didn't drop either. The main spot on BTC right now is the daily chart, and on the daily, we've got a real lock below zero. Price has settled in below the line. Break the current lows, the drop continues. Get back above the line, the picture straightens out. The 12-hour chart locked below zero too. That's why the last few days haven't been a trend. They've been spikes in both directions. Any move up right now is local, no structure behind it. Bitcoin on 4-hour chart is broken, messy. The 2 hours is okay-ish, but clean it isn't either. The lower time frames aren't helping right now. Main watch points on Bitcoin are the daily and the 12-hour charts. We're in an uncertainty phase. Now back to where we started. Today, May 22nd, Polymarket, the biggest decentralized prediction market, got hit by an exploit. On-chain researchers logged around $660,000 drained through an adapter on Polygon. Looks like the attack didn't go through the core. It went through legacy access to the Oracle, old infrastructure. Polymarket confirmed the incident on Discord. And all of this happened on the exact day Hyperliquid printed a new all-time high, around $63 at the peak, up 47% on the week. Hyperliquid and Polymarket sit in adjacent niches, derivatives and prediction markets. A divergence in strength like that on the same day isn't random anymore. Which brings us to the setup of the week, Hyperliquid. And no, this isn't missed opportunity. This is the confirmation pattern we usually wait for. Let's walk the time frames. I've got something to show you. On the weekly, strongest hold I've seen since April 2nd. On May 14th, clean double bottom locally, immediately followed by a new high, meaning the whole higher time frame picture is with the trend. 5-day chart says the same thing. Strongest hold above the zero line, new high. 3-day chart is less aggressive. There are touches at zero or close to it, but the high broke too. Dailies also holding. There are passes down to zero, and right now the daily chart is attacking its old high, the one from January 29th this year. Same picture on the 12 hours. They don't let price drift, but the touches are there. Below that, it gets more interesting for entries. The 4-hour chart is way above zero in a very aggressive structure. Entering here is risky. Overheated zone. The 2-hour chart is less aggressive. The pullbacks towards zero are gentler, and there's a specific ADP level at around 0.8% at where the deviation holds. They don't let it drop lower, they buy it back. If you're trading this setup, that's where I'd look for the entry, on the 2-hour chart in that zone down to 0.8 on ADP. Anything earlier is too greedy. For sharper entries, there's the 1-hour chart for the braver crowd. It reacts faster, and you can see beautiful moments where price dips just under zero and gets bought back hard. It played out May 18th, May 20th, May 22nd. Sub-zero dip, strong buyback. If you want a more aggressive entry, the 1-hour chart lets you take it. What to watch next week? On Hyperliquid, waiting on the weekly chart as an invalidation signal would take too long, so I'm not anchoring there. Daily and 12-hour charts, I'm watching only for structure, the direction they're leaning. Main anchor is the mid-time frames. That's one of the first to tell you. If price keeps dipping no deeper than the current line and comes back, the setup's still live. Invalidation is a lock below the zero line, plus new local lows on the 1-hour chart. The 1-hour tells you first. For the broader market and Bitcoins, same 2 charts, daily and 12 hours. Lock below zero confirms the downtrend. Back above the line puts us back into upside. Stay sharp, don't get faked out, trade with a cool head. Platform I trade on is in the description. Every indicator and signal is free. See you next Friday.